Let me have the camera so you can show the pickups. That's how we do it, Mario. We got this down to a science. Thanks again for viewing, everybody, for watching. I'm glad you do. Let's just get right to the pickups. Let's start with an update from the last video I did just this past Monday. I showed a video of a Craigslist pickup, a PS2 pickup with a bunch of games. One of the games that I saw in the picture on Craigslist just saw the spine. That is Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2. And when I went and picked it up, it was the only case that was empty. So after I made the video, I texted the guy and he said he'd look around for it. Wasn't expecting much to come from it. But he texted me about an hour later and he found it in with his regular music CDs. So there it is. Unfortunately, out of all the discs that he sold me in that bundle, this one was definitely, I don't know if we'll be able to see it on the camera phone, the most jacked. So maybe I'll get it resurfaced or something. But hey, Dark Alliance 2 in the collection. So that video was on Monday, which was the first day of E3. Later that night, I went to the local movie theater because they were showing the Sony E3 press conference live on the big screen. And as excited as I was about the conference, and it was, looking forward to a lot of stuff that they showed, I also enjoyed some of the free swag we got afterwards. Theater was maybe a little bit less than half full. They had enough swag for a full theater, so we got a little bit more than one each. Picked up a couple of these Star Wars Battlefront stickers. Got these two posters. They're both the same. They're just two-sided. There is an Uncharted 4, PlayStation 4, and this Street Fighter V, Battlefront, Mad Max, and No Man's Sky. But they're two-sided, so they're the same thing. That's pretty cool. Now the big get were these VIP lanterns. In the video with Jeff Keighley, they showed 5 different types, but they only had 2 different types at our table. A Street Fighter one and this Battlefront one. And take that, try to take the code. I've already redeemed them all. The codes are good for a special Batman skin in Batman Arkham Knight. I think a week of PlayStation Now with access to Shadow of the Colossus. And most importantly, $5 PSN credit. So yes, I've redeemed all 3. I don't know if they're one per person, so I don't know if I'm going to get 15 in PSN credit or not. It's email delivery at a later date, so we'll see how that goes. If it's only one per person, I'll have $10 of PSN credit to give away. At the very least, I'll have some Batman Arkham Knight skins and 7-day access of PS Now. So, let me know. What else we got? Oh, this came in the mail. It is a Club Nintendo 3DS pouch with its Legend of Zelda. On that side is a tiny little Link holding up the Triforce. And on that, a green with a bunch of different characters and stuff making a Triforce. So that is pretty cool. I've been looking for a nice cover for my 3DS XL, my, ironically, Zelda 3DS XL. So I'm going to be using that. Alright, let's get to the pickups from G-Sale. And actually, no. Forgot. Got one more thing that's not a G-Sale. I'm kind of ashamed of myself. I bought some more Amiibo. I believe it was last Saturday or Sunday. On Cheap Ass Gamer, somebody posted that Walmart had the Splatoon, Squid Boy, and Squid Girl up on their website at regular price in stock. So I ordered it for in-store pickup, and there they are. Squid Boy and Squid Girl. I would like to have the 3 set because each of these and the Squid Amiibo all have single player content unlocked with them, but we'll probably never see that 3-pack again. So there it is. While I was looking around after I picked this up, because the in-store pickup at my Walmart's in the very back of the store, ironically, through electronics. So I was looking around and didn't see anything else I really wanted or needed. And I was looking at this clearance rack, and they had some Amiibos on clearance. Now, granted, it was like $10, so we're not talking a major discount or anything. But, hey. So I picked up Luigi. These are the two they had. And Yoshi. Luigi and Yoshi on clearance. I'm betting that there's going to be some special content with Yoshi, with Yoshi's Woolly World later this year. So that's why I wanted to get a Yoshi. And Yoshi. And Luigi is just, Luigi. Both of them have special boards in Mario Party 10. So, and Luigi was my main in Super Mario Bros. 2. I did the first 2 levels as Toad because he was quicker picking things up. So when he got into the dream world, he got those coins faster for the better spins. And the rest of the game was all Luigi because of his jumping ability. So there are my Amiibos. Now let's get to pickups from today. This was a pawn shop pickup. The Xbox conference on Monday, they announced backwards compatibility, and almost immediately half of NeoGAF was crying for this game to get some backwards compatibility on Xbox One. So I went and picked it up. They've had it for a while, and I wanted it. It's Lost Odyssey, a exclusive, I believe it's exclusive. Yeah, only on Xbox 360 RPG, 4 disc. 4 disc. They're all there. I think the only one that's kind of in rough shape, I believe, is disc 1. It's not even rough shape. It's in played shape. So whoever had it before they got it to the pawn shop, didn't make it past disc 1. So if it does get backwards compatibility, it may become in, sought after. I think it's kind of sought after now. Case is a little worn. Looks like previous owner was a little bit too overzealous getting GameStop stickers off. I understand. Believe me, I do. But cases can be replaced. Also, while I was there, I picked up this copy of Beyond Good and Evil for the PS2. For some reason, I thought it was more valuable or rare, but I guess that's only the GameCube version. Disc only, unfortunately, no manual, but the disc is in really good condition. I didn't have it. I've got the HD version downloaded on my PS3, but I don't have a physical copy until now. Stopped at this other sale. It was kind of late in the day. I'm kind of going backwards in my sales today. And I asked about stuff, and you know how it goes. I picked up King Arthur on the GameCube. This was $1. Disc only once again. I guess I've got a game with Keira Knightley on my GameCube for $1. I mean, kind of how it is. It is a movie tie-in. I didn't see it. Did anyone see it? I don't know. This was also there. It's not a game pickup, but I've been wanting to watch the movie lately, and Netflix removed it, so Clue the movie, one of the greatest movies of all time. My brother put a Facebook post this week, how do you remember Tim Curry? That. Nothing else. Not It, not Rocky Horror Picture Show, not Legend, as Wadsworth the butler. I asked, I said, this woman, my God, was sitting halfway into her garage. All the stuff was out in the driveway, halfway in her garage, petting the dog up here on her shoulder. I'm like, wow, why are you getting rid of this classic? This one's awesome. This is a great movie. She's like, I read books, and therefore I don't have time for movies. Well, fuck me then. How much you want for Clue? Oh, let's see here. Goodwill pickup. I picked up this Xbox original controller. I don't know if I showed it or even mentioned it, but I inherited my little brother's older Xbox. Inherited as in it was stored in my parents' house forever and ever, and they said, it's got to go, Justin, will you take it? And I said, yes, I will. Why not? And it had everything, it had the hookups, and had the console in really good condition, just didn't have a controller for one reason or another. So saw one at Goodwill and picked it up. Sorry, I'm watching the Cardinal game, if you must know. They're up 4-1, top 7 against the Phillies. So I'm kind of halfway distracted doing this video. So yeah, I decided to keep it. I don't collect for Xbox. I've said that 1,000 times. But if you remember a previous video from last summer, I found that box that the lady gave me for free, which it's gonna be 5-1. Anyway, and it had a PS2 in it, which I sold, got some good credit. Had an old retro like Pong type thing, which I sold at a garage sale, and it had an Xbox with controllers, no games. And I just sold it. I sold it to my parents and neighbors at their garage sale because they wanted a game for, they didn't have a lot of money and all that. And I sold it for like $10. Like, oh, I got it for free. $10. Get rid of it. Get this giant box out of here. And they've been like thanking me profusely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That one game's amazing. And that game where you're shooting things, oh my God, we can't get enough of that. I'm like, what are you talking about? What games are you playing? The games that were on the system that you gave us. I'm like, there were games on it? All I did was make sure it powered on. Apparently whoever owned that had a ton of games downloaded on the hard drive. I don't know if my brother is a download on the hard drive type of guy, but I'll keep the Xbox because I've been getting a lot of Xbox original games, just in hand for one reason or another. So now I've got a controller in case I ever want to hook up the original Xbox. Make a really long story longer, or short story longer. This was also at Goodwill. Fusion Frenzy 2 for the Xbox 360. These were both $4, $3.99. And I was just going to kind of pass. But I looked it up. It's actually like a $10 or $11 game, which isn't bad. Disc is great. And it just looks kind of interesting. It's not for resale, if that means anything at all, which it probably doesn't. But there it is. All right. And last random garage sale pickup today. They had some games sitting on the ground on a blanket. The only thing interesting on there was ATV Off-Road Fury 2. Heard these ATV off-road games are really cool. And the soundtrack caught my eye. And the condition was good. And it even has like some old stuff in it. I don't even know what all that is. But I asked about other video games. Like, you have any other video games, even older ones? Oh, we got some Wii stuff. You want to sell the Wii stuff? So he brings out a stack of stuff. And it was, it was Wii Sports Resort, but the disc wasn't there, so I gave him the case back and other things. And Super Mario Galaxy 2. Which, of course, I have, but is, it's a Mario game. It's sought after. People want it. It's in great condition. The only person who didn't want it, I guess, is Cookie. But, I could probably resell it for $20, $25, maybe even shade more, who knows. But I asked how much, he said $2. So he wanted $2 a pop for the games. So I maybe overpaid a little bit for ATV Off-Road to severely underpay for Super Mario Galaxy 2, which I'm going to go get some credit for. Or something, maybe, or sell. I want to go to Vegas later this year. But, alright. Finally, this last garage sale pickup, and this was actually my first garage sale pickup of the day. I guess I'm kind of going in reverse order of the day. There's this community. Okay, this might be a little bit of a rant. You might want to fast forward if you don't want to hear it. There's this community sale. And I've actually never been out to the community. It's a little bit out of my way. But I started noticing, from ads on Craigslist, that a lot of people in this area were having garage sales. So I was like, this must be a community sale. So I get up, take my shower, get some coffee. All of them were like 8 a.m., no early birds, 8 a.m., no early birds, 8 a.m., no early birds. One guy put on there video games and consoles, which should be a red flag for me by now. It should be like, okay, that's the attention seeker. Everybody, oh, he's got games right there. I'm going there. And then go elsewhere. But I decided because it is kind of an out-of-way place, and I've had some luck in the community, that I'd head there. I pulled up at 7:59. 8 a.m., no early birds. Pulled up at 7:59. There had to be 40 people in this guy's driveway already. There were people there, chumming through a box of games, just churning through them. Saw a guy holding 3 or 4 Nintendo 64 controllers like they were his babies. And the guy recognized me. I don't know if I should know him. I apologize, sir, if you're a viewer or we've met. I'm really bad with names and faces until I get to we see each other a few times. I don't immediately recognize people upon second view. So bear with me. I'm sorry I don't know your name. I know this video game collecting is kind of a cutthroat thing, but we also kind of look out for one another. So he's sitting there holding these N64 controllers, and he's like, dude, there's games right there. He's like, you're right there. So I go over to this box. I look in the box, and there's a Dreamcast in there. It looks in rough shape. It didn't look like it had all the cords. I didn't look very closely. There were 4 controllers, 2 of which were Sega. The other 2 were off-brand. No VMUs, no memory cards, and a reasonably decent copy of Vigilante 8. Nothing else. And I got that Dreamcast and 4 controllers and 2 VMUs from that guy for $5 a few weeks ago. Just when I've only been doing this half seriously, not doing it every week, starting about 9:30, 10 in the morning instead of 7:30, 8 a.m. in the morning. I've found Dreamcasts on a semi-regular basis. It's not like I see them every week, but I do find them. So I'm looking at this, I'm like, what's the guy going to ask? Is he going to ask 30? I looked online earlier this afternoon. Sega Dreamcast go anywhere from $30 to $35. So what's he going to ask for this with 4 controllers and 1 game? $30? $20? Is it worth my time to take it home and go find another buyer at $20? And then I'm thinking in my mind, what am I going to do? Am I going to haggle with a guy 5 minutes into his garage sale when all he sees are sharks, sharks at a baby seal convention, and they all are missing their fins? That's what it looked like. Games. Oh my God, games. I'm going to do I give you $5 for us Dreamcast. So I put it down, done through a few more games, and you know what? Got nothing here. And then when I turn around, I see this other guy I recognize as a fellow collector, fellow seeker, fellow hunter. He goes right for the box. And once again, I'm in my mind I should know this guy. I probably know his name. We've probably met. I don't remember his name. I don't remember talking to him. I'm sorry once again. It's one of my biggest weaknesses. I don't recognize people until mini meetings. So, but I'm sitting there thinking in my mind as I'm walking away, I should know that guy. So I kind of turn around. Just a few seconds later, he's got that Dreamcast box up, and he's got it, and he's searching for the next games. And I'm just thinking, unless you really, really need a Dreamcast, it's missing from your collection, you want it, I guess you could hold it for a trade for something you really want. But like I said, what are you going to do? You're going to go haggle with the guy 5 minutes into his garage sale? Unless he's stupid, he's got at least $20 on that. Is that worth it? Like I said, unless you really, really need a Dreamcast, don't have a Dreamcast, is it worth it? You're going to start haggling him down 5 to, I'll give you 10. Unless he takes 10, and he'd be stupid because there's 40 people in his driveway and they're looking at nothing but video game stuff. He'd be like, oh, you won't give me $20 for it? We'll go put it back on the table. Somebody will give me $20 for it here in about 5-10 minutes. Whatever. So anyway, like I said, this is a rant, and I'm sorry if you fast forward to this point, maybe a little bit longer. So I'm in this community sale. I get back in my car. I'm like, holy shit. Holy fucking shit. I'm not good in that. I don't like competition. I don't like fighting for shit. And a part of my garage sale day is mostly asking folks. If I see a couple, these 2 games. The only game that was out on his lawn was this one. Hey man, how's it going? Oh yeah, man, good sale. You got any other games by chance? Oh yeah, let me go look. And then that appears. This wasn't for sale. This wasn't out there. If it was, it would have been long gone. If he had put this out, like when he started his garage sale, it would have been gone in 3 minutes. So you can't talk to folks when all that shit's going around. So I said, okay, I'm in this community sale, obviously. Everybody's here. Because this one was like, towards the front of the neighborhood. I'm going to fucking jet to the back. All right? I'm going to get away from the crowd for as long as I can. So I go and find one. And he's got an original PS1. He's got, with some games, he wanted 50 for it. Or he wanted like 30 for it. He had a PS2, a big fat PS2. And a bunch of games. They're all taped up, by the way. It's like, it'd be like this stack if I put, freaking packing tape around it. That's what. And they were all, Maddens and racing and basketball. There was no gems in there. And the PS2 with the games, I think he wanted 50. Then I looked and there's a GBA and like 2 crap games. And he had like 30. I asked if he had any other like older games like that. He goes in the house, grabs one more GBA game. It's Namco Museum, which I'll throw that in. It'd probably be nice to have a Game Boy Advance SP, but not for $30. I'm not paying $30 for it. And once again, why would you start? Why would $30 is a bad start point for me, because my starting point's $5. All right, where do you meet in that? All right, if you want 30. I will give you 5. And then behind me, here comes the throng. Like, it didn't take 3 minutes, but man, I'm like, I'm out. I'm going to move on. And I move on. I get to the sale. They don't have anything. Then I get to the sale. Oh, I just sold a huge box of games 2 minutes ago. And I just sold some games. It's done. It's done. Now there's another sale, a smaller neighborhood going on across town. Ironically, it was really close, but there's an interstate separating the neighborhoods. You got to go back anyway. Long story short, I want to head over there. Call me the Nintendo of garage sale video game hunters, because when the sharks are swimming and in this red water over here, I'm going to go find some blue ocean where ain't nobody there. Where I'm the only one. And all the meat is for me and no one else. So I head over there. I hit a couple. Then I get to the one. Then I get to the garage sale. This may not be my best find of the season, but it's top fucking 5. So I go up, and it's a lady, I think with 3 kids, 2 kind of older, like, 12, 13, 14, and a younger one. And hey, you got any video games? She had tons of DVDs, so I'm like, maybe there's some stuff in here. I was asking, hey, you got any video games? And she said, oh yeah, she sends the kids inside, like, we got a bunch of PS2 games, are you interested in that? Now, at this point, I had just been freaking swimming with sharks in the community sale, and PS2 games, just seeing them without 5 people. That's another thing. When I was back there was this dude following me for at least 6 or 7 houses. He was on my tail. And yeah, when you're going through a neighborhood sale, you're going to see the same people a lot. But this guy, I'd skip some sales. Because I'm trying to stay away from the crowds. I'm trying to stay away from where everybody else is going. So I'd stop. I'd go up to this house. I'd finally get the guy, and ask the guy, hey, you got any video games? No, I'm sorry, I don't. And I'd walk away. He'd be behind me. I'm starting to think this motherfucker is waiting for me to ask if they got any video games. And if they say yes, his ass is there to freaking, I'll take it. What do you got? I'll buy it. To freaking outbid me, whatever it is. Fucking assholes. So here I am. We have a chance to get at least PS2 games. And these are kids. They're not going to have fucking Rule of Rose. They're not going to have any Resident Evils or Haunting Grounds. Or, I might be lucky to get some decent Lego games. I might get, they're not even going to have GTA. But, so the boy runs in, and the daughter's kind of staying around, like, arranging DVDs. She's like, we have some GameCube stuff too. Would you be interested in that as well? I'm like, oh yeah, if you got GameCube stuff, I'll look at it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll go tell him. She runs in the house to tell her big brother, maybe little brother, who knows, that I want to look at the GameCube stuff too. All right. Meanwhile, the mom, sweet, really nice, talking to her. She's apologizing for taking so long. I'm like, hey, I got all the time in the world. It's a Saturday morning. I ain't got nothing to do. So I see this kid walk out, and if you've been doing this for a while, if you've been video game hunting, video game collecting, you can spot. I'm sure it's more like a lot of hobbies. Like you could see something right away. Like, uh oh. So this guy comes out holding this GameCube. And if you know what to look for, you see it as well. I mean, it's just a black GameCube, but with the GBA player on it. And he brings out 3 games. He's like, okay, I got this, and I found some games. I gotta go look for the controllers. Take your time, man. Take your time. So he brings out these games. Unfortunately, only 3. This one, aggressive. I ain't even looked in it. I don't even know if. Yeah, aggressive inline. Whatever. Zelda 4 Swords Adventures. Unfortunately, case is beat up, and even the artwork's beat up, unfortunately. But the disc is there. It's in an old Blockbuster case. I think it's a Blockbuster. Honestly, it probably needs some help. I don't know if I'm going to get much, because I already have this. I bought it at a pawn shop. I was kind of hoping to swap out the artwork, because mine is a Player's Choice edition, but this artwork, and I might not be able to. If somebody wants to try it, this is going to be up for sale or trade. If anybody wants to give it a shot. Finally, in much better condition, is this Mario Kart Double Dash. That's complete. And the disc is actually in the system. And yeah, kids owned it, but this one is a lot better than the Zelda. So yeah, I see the 2 games. Like, this is awesome. Whatever. And the cube. But man, I'm hoping against hope that when he brings out the controllers, he brings out what I'm really looking for. And you know what I'm really looking for? Because I found GBA players in the past, but it needs a disc for them to work. And I never found a disc until today. Game Boy Play. Look, I didn't know it had a slipcover. I've never even seen that. I should have asked if they had any GBA games. I mean, they got the GBA player. It'll work. That right there. What, about $50 maybe? With the player? 50. The controllers he brought, I had all the hookups. There's AV cables. And fortunately, all the controllers are third-party Mad Catz nonsense. Not one Game Boy controller or GameCube controller in the lot. Is this a... This must be a link cable for 4 Swords Adventures, which I did not have. That's pretty cool. So, and he brings out a binder full of PS2 games. No discs, or no cases, no manuals, just like a CD binder. And I'm thumbing through them. I said, well, how much do you want? Just, let's start with the GameCube stuff. How much do you want? And she's like, how about $10? You got it. Absolutely. Then I'm sitting there and she's like, Sir? Yes. I sold this lady this furniture over here. It's like I guess it was nice wood furniture. She's like, but my back hurts and she's kind of an older lady. Are you strong? Can you help? Sure, I can. So I load these 2 chairs and this bench and this table on this woman's truck. And no issue. And I come back. She's like, you know what? Thank you so much. You can have this stuff for free. That GameCube stuff for free. 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 For being a decent human being. And for looking at all the sharks biting at anything remotely related to a video game and saying, I want to swim in a pool by myself. Even if the pool's a little bit smaller. I got myself a Game Boy player, a startup disc, a nice copy of Double Dash, which will probably bring me at least $20. Who knows? Somebody's going to take a chance. This one's not easy to find. And what the fuck ever, who cares? So that is my garage sale day. And bonus, hold up. A lady who was at that sale that was with the lady in the back of the garage petting the dog. Fuck movies, man. I read books. There's another lady there selling some of her stuff. Kind of staying away from, like, I know her, but I don't know her. She was still selling some Girl Scout cookies. Got 3 boxes of Do-si-dos. What you know about that? Middle of June, getting new Girl Scout cookies. And that is a great day. I hope you enjoyed my garage sale pickup video, my pickup video in general. As the Cardinal's about to take a 7-1, no, he stops. It's alright. And I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry for the rant. I just have something to say. I love garage selling, but man, I like garage selling. I can stand some people, but when it turns into the freaking Walmart Black Friday sale of garage sales, out. Keep bringing your pickup videos and your hunting videos because I love watching them. It's one of my favorite forms of entertainment outside of Cardinal baseball. And I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.